2,
You want to
3.
come in the video?
You can
Okay, so some of the things that we have today are the Stryker System 9 handpieces, and we do have the Stryker F1. This is our small bone cordless wireless power. So it comes in a pencil grip. It also comes in a pistol grip with many of the attachments that you're used to. We'll get to that in a minute maybe, but what I'm holding is the System 9 cordless driver. So this is one of the more common handpieces. So some of the differences that we did with the System 9 versus System 8 is we changed a lot with the batteries. So the batteries, traditionally all orthopedic companies that made power tools had slide-on batteries from the back. But what we ended up doing was we built the coils into the housing of the battery, so it's a little bit recessed. So these ones are now a twist on. So there's an arrow on the handpiece, there's an arrow on the battery, you can kind of see.
Okay.
And so when you connect the two, you push the arrows together and twist. You're going to get a light indicating that it is charged, and now you're good to go. Now this doesn't have an attachment on it, but that's some of the changes that we've done in the battery. So it has a longer shelf life, up to 45 days, now that with the System 9. But one of the other key features that we have with the System 9 batteries is wireless charging. So with the new charging bay, we can have one of these down in MDR. Traditionally, what we've done is we've always charged batteries, after a case before we sterilize them. And we can still do that. But what we can also do with this new wireless charging is charge it through the blue wrap. And so when I put on a battery that's sterilely wrapped onto the charging bay, it indicates that it notices that there's a battery there, and it's going to charge not only with it unwrapped, like we would normally do down in MDR, but also through the blue wrap, meaning that we can have one of these charging bays upstairs outside of the theaters.
Okay.
So the charging can be done prior to sterilization and wrap, but we can also have another one upstairs so that we can go into the OR with peace of mind, knowing that the battery is fully charged before every case. So most of all of the handpieces are very similar. We've got the cordless driver, the Sabo saw. We've got, these are kind of more for podiatry work or small cutting. We've got our cordless driver attachments with power ream attachments. So power ream increases the torque and slows down the speed of the spin. Sagittal saw, and then the standard cordless driver attachments. Also the high-speed burr. We have our precision saw. This is something that we use here in Cranbrook. So precision saw can be rotated around by the button, just like our standard sagittal saw will. Button just on the bottom. And same concept. Battery works just like so. Green light letting us know it's good to go. And then we're ready to cut with a blade, of course. In comparison to our cordless driver, we have the dual trigger rotary. It's a little bit more of a heavy duty handpiece, so there is a little bit more weight to it, but it provides a little bit more functionality. So traditionally, if we wanted to ream with the cordless driver, we would change from a drilling attachment to a reaming attachment, and that would be through the power ream attachments. So you can drill at high speed, lower torque,
Okay.
and then you can switch to a reaming attachment, but this one actually has it built into the handpiece. So the dual trigger rotary, you can switch from drill or ream, increasing the torque, lowering the spin. Heavy duty drill, primarily for total joints, really good for total hips. Reciprocating saw, there's another cordless driver here, but that's a little bit of the rundown on the System 9.
What we use for the IM nail? We
For
use
the
this
IM nail?
system or this system?
So for the IM nail, you can use both. You can
Okay.
use the cordless driver, but when you're reaming, you want to use a large AO, depending on the reamer that you have.
Yes.
But the power ream is very important because you don't want to be spinning really, really fast down the canal. You want that torque and the low spin. So power ream attachment for when you're reaming for the nail. Or you can just use a dual trigger rotary, and that means that you can ream down the IM canal by putting it onto the ream function. And then when you're ready for your transfer screws or drilling for any screw, you can just go back to the drill function on the handpiece. Whereas if you were using the cordless driver, you would switch from the large AO back to your regular AO for the high spin portion of that. And that's basically it. This is more of plastic surgery. So plastic surgery or podiatry, you can even do sports medicine cases with these. Batteries are built into the handpiece, so the handpiece itself will connect to a charger, and then you go from there. But the general concept is that if you wanted to use a kind of sagittal saw with this, then you just insert the attachment, then you hold it like that so that the blade will rotate. That's the F1 pencil grip. And if you wanted to use it traditionally like a pistol grip, we have a U-drive, or kind of your main universal motor will connect, and then you can put things on like a wire driver, and now you've got a small bone cordless battery operated wire driver.
Can we hook with the burr if we do spinal surgery?
You can. So there's different systems for that spin a little bit faster.
Okay.
You can. So it's this one here.
Okay.
But depending on what you're doing, you may need. It really depends on the procedure. It just depends on what you're doing for burring. This is a burr attachment, or like a micro drill.
Okay.
But sometimes you need something with a higher spin, and that would be a different system.
Okay. We
Yeah.
do spinal decompression.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. See you.